Uh, wow. Crap. I just pushed the button that says I'm not muted anymore.
Good job.
Welcome to a live webinar. So for those of you who stuck around and just watched me be interesting and make a lot of goofy faces there, I apologize. I did not realize that the button was on that was making sure I wasn't speaking yet. So, all right, what I'm going to do then? Okay, I will summarize what I did because you saw the slides and those more or less read it. But okay, down and dirty. Here's the deal. Here's what we're getting. Marketing sucks if you're doing it wrong. It's expensive, and I found a better way, like way better way. It is transformed the relationship that we've had with our clients and any of my friends and folks who've asked me about it, how to do this. This works like a house on fire. And I'm just trying to impart to you, it's not the usual yada yada garbage. It's not something else dressed up and made fancy or renamed or some baloney. And it's actually pretty darn simple. It's almost embarrassingly simple. I did lead generation for people for years, almost a little over like 12 years or so. We did almost exclusively lead generation, mostly for chiropractors. And I know how that goes. It's tough. It's a tough deal. It takes a lot to get those leads back in. And every month it got harder because the world was louder and noisier. So we had to find something new. So I went and I found something new. And this new thing has blown me away on what it is and how it works. And that's what I'm trying to tell you about. So the earlier slides get the basic idea of what I had for you, but that's the underlying, the other things I kind of said in there. That is what I'm trying to get for you here. This will fix your marketing problem. And it is so easy and it is so cheap and everybody can do this. Okay. So that's what I want you to know as the entry part of this webinar. All right. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the parts where I literally teach this to you. Okay. Yeah. This my bullet points just say all that. If you ever had to worry because you're spending too much on marketing, it makes you worry, you're spending too much. It should not ruin your life. Marketing shouldn't be something that sucks the life out of you. It shouldn't be something you have to worry about every day. And it doesn't have to. What I'm going to show you here, right, is it's something I've kind of put together myself. It doesn't take your attention every day. You don't have to bother around with it. It goes on for weeks and weeks and weeks without doing any damn thing to it. It's amazing, right? And it's consistent. It works better over time, which is man, there's so many things. I'll even tell you the secret is you do the program here, this the way I'm going to show you, you could stop doing it for a month and still have results. It has inertia. It's amazing. Okay. So thank you for putting up my bad microphone. This is this is the slide, one slide on who I am. Okay, my name is John Nesbitt. I apparently don't know how to use a microphone. I have helped dozens of practice owners get past seven figures. It's probably scores, but whatever. Lots of people get past seven figures, whether it's a practice. I said practice owners there because I was working with chiropractors until recently, and we're working on other types of businesses now, all other kinds of locals. Right. I wrote a book once. Whoopee. I was in the Wall Street Journal. Whoopee. And I founded this customer factory company, which is basically where I learned all this stuff. But before this, I've run a multi-million-dollar e-commerce company before that. I had an agency in Chicago where I dealt with Inc. 500 brands. And I put some companies, I was the first internet marketing they ever did, like AT&T and even Microsoft. Some of their first internet marketing was something that I put together. So that's kind of, okay, my only point is I kind of know what I'm doing, okay? Now, I always like to have this. Why am I giving this away for free? I just told you I run a marketing agency, and I'm going to tell you how to do marketing for free. Really? Sounds like bullshit, right? No, it's not. It's not. Here's why. I know that some of you will want this done for you as a service by my company. That's it. Some of you, many of you will just go off and use this yourself. Totally fine, right? And at the end, if you're one of those people who says, "Yeah, John, I'd rather have you do this for me," I'm going to give you an option at the end. I'm going to tell you right now, it costs under $1,500 a month for the whole program. You could do it yourself for less than that. But if you want a pro running it and make sure it goes off the right way, I'm totally willing to do that. And the last couple of slides, I tell you about what it looks like if you ever want to be a client with us. But before that, the other umpteen slides ahead of that are all information, and that is free. And yeah, regardless, you're free to use everything I'm show you here. Okay. All right. So simple truth number one, the difference between striving and struggling in any kind of business. If you ever had a struggle, there's only really one reason to it, right? You ever had a time when you're doing great? Well, there's a reason for that, right? So if you understand this one thing, you'll get the whole program put together is on this one next reveal here. Okay. Best known beats best. 4 words. 4 words. Have you ever seen someone who was crappier what they do, but they were leading in the market? They were making more money. You ever seen somebody who was just famous for being famous? We've seen people who are famous for being famous, right? Unfortunately, this is not justice. This is real life. It's not fair. But someone who is better known in business will beat someone who's better at their craft. You can be the master whatever you do, but if nobody knows who you are, you will starve, and the Walmart version of you will do great, right? Because why? They're better known. This is the key. And I'm going to talk about how to flesh this out, because get to understand this and know this 4 words right here, and you will never want for business, because you just have to embrace these. But I'm going to talk about how you do those here. Okay. So yeah, this is a graph right here. 76% of people say they are more likely to choose someone they've heard of previously. So interesting thing about that. What that means is people, if they've kind of heard of you a little bit, and then they need you, then you have the problem. They're going to look at, most likely choose somebody they'd already heard of before they had the problem. So it doesn't work like you think it does, like in the movies. Oh, I have a problem. Let me go look at my options. People are not like that. More like, oh, I got a problem. I guess I got to go deal with that problem. Well, I've heard of that guy. Maybe I'll go to that guy. That's how it works in real life. That's how it works in my house. Maybe it's different in your house, but most people, 76% here, which is the most people by far, are going to do that. Go with someone they've heard of before they needed the help. Oh my God, John, that sounds expensive. How do I reach everybody all the time, even the ones who don't need my help? That sounds like stupid marketing. No, it's the opposite of that. Okay, I'm going to show you. A key thing to know: to get more people in, you simply become better known amongst the people you want to attract. Now, this sounds dirt simple, stupid too, but I'm just putting the previous words in a little more wordiness version. That if there's a population of people, look, there's a finite number of people on the planet. And there's a finite number of people who live in your area who are likely to come for you for what you do. All right. Yeah. Some people come from Poughkeepsie, and one guy drove in to see me from Alaska. Yeah, great. But generally speaking, it's a population. And within that population, well, you don't need the 5-year-olds or the kids. And there's certain people in that group. There's only so many of those folks. There's a finite number. Now, maybe there's 20,000 of them, which is cool. Most areas have tens of thousands of potential people who fit what you need to reach. And it's cool. And you don't have to get all 20,000 to have a really successful business. I mean, how many people can you handle in a week, right? Probably not 20,000. If you can, God bless you, but good luck with that. But you're not likely to ever run out of that pool, because also that pool, people come into the market and out of the market. They move in, they move away, and people become needing you problems and all that stuff, right? So if you could just find out who those are, and you become better known amongst those people, they know your name before they have the problem that they're going to have, or some of them are going to have, you win. That's how you win this game. Okay? So simple truth number 2, everyone you want to serve in the future are strangers right now, right? Theoretically, some friends or whatever, but generally speaking, everyone, all your future customers for the next 2 years, most of them, if not all of them, are unknown to you. They don't know you. You don't know them. And it's up to you as the business owner to make that connection, to make sure that they can see you're there and you bring them towards you, right? If you went on just referral land, it doesn't work. Okay. Now, complete this phrase. All right, so we're going to talk about how we do this now, right? So people buy from people they trust. That's right. People buy from people they trust. That's weird, because a lot of people are strangers out there, but strangers, by definition, is someone you don't trust. So all those people out there who you don't know and they don't know you, there's probably a lack of trust there, because really they don't even know who you are, right? They have no reason to distrust you, but there's no trust there. And if you want to get them to buy from you, you've got to build some sort of trust. But how, in Lord's name, do you get people to trust you who have never come to see you and won't come to see you until they do trust you? It's like a catch-22, right? Well, I'm glad you asked. All right. So how to get lots of complete strangers to know and trust you. Here we go. Simple formula. So this right here, you could ignore all the other stuff I say. I'm about to give you what the upcoming is, what I call the $1 million slide. It's probably the $10 million slide, but it explains a magical formula here. I'm telling you, this is human nature boiled down to the bottom bits. This is what really works. It's not theory. It's not philosophy. It is hardcore what works. Okay. And it answers this question: how to get lots of complete strangers to know and trust you. That's awesome. If you really, that's another way to say how to get lots of new customers, right? How to get lots of people coming to see me, demanding my stuff. Okay, well, here we go. Step one, you create an introduction message, right? What's that introduction? Who are you? What do you do that might help them? And how do they find you if they need you, right? So you got to first figure out, who the heck are you? Are you an auto repair shop? Are you a chiropractor? Are you a septic tank installer? What are you, right? Okay, you got to create a little message. Like, okay, how am I going to present myself to people? Okay, I am this, and I am that, and I do this. That helps you when you have that problem. I help solve this problem. And when you need me, come to my website or my phone number or whatever. Right? Easy stuff, right? But that's step one. Don't overlook it because you got to have this right. Okay, so step one is there, right? Yeah, keep it simple and don't get salesy. Oh, you're basically an introduction. You don't want to be that guy who introduces and tries to sell at the same exact moment. No, be classy, right? Be classy. But don't be salesy. Don't get desperate, even if you are. Yeah, the worst time to act desperate is when you are desperate, okay? So if you find yourself desperate, hold back on that. Get step one done. This is super easy. This should take you about 5 minutes. You probably can do this instantly. Okay, step two, take that simple message, right? And put it in front of as many prospects as you can, of those ideal guys, right? That group I mentioned, that there's the whole world of people, right? You want just the subgroup of the guys who are close to you that you need. Okay, that's not that many people. And you want to take that introduction, that here's who I am, and put it in front of those people, okay? You want to go narrow. Means it's a human instinct to think that, well, I'm going to reach 10,000 people. Why not push this out to 20,000 people and widen the constraints on this? And what happens is if you do that, you think you're being smart because now you're hitting 20,000 people, a bigger chance of getting them the deal. When you actually would do better to hit the 10,000 people twice, okay? The right people are the right people. Don't wander. Stay narrow. Don't go wide on that. That's the biggest way. Geo-targeting is this way, and people are choosing how far out from their location should they run their ads. They go, well, let's do 100 miles. Oh, we'll get all these people. No, it means you're spending as much money on some guy who's 99 miles away from you as you are the guy who's next door. And the guy next door won't see you because you're spending the money on the other guys. You're just too thin. Keep it tight. Keep it locked in. Name your ideal customer. Go after them. Put that message in front of them. The modern marketing technology helps you. Use it. It helps you target. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right, step three, repeat that. Same place, same message. Same exact place, like if it's on Facebook or on Billboard or whatever, same message. Now, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get bored after a while, right? Yeah, you're going to get bored after a while. It's the same message. I've been running that dumb billboard, or I've been putting that same ad out for months, and I'm tired of it. I want to change it up. Yeah, your opinion doesn't matter. It's the only opinion that matters is the person who's coming to see you. If people are coming to see you, don't change it. It's great. Add to it, but don't change it. Okay. But right now, you ever wonder why repeat it, same place, same message? You know where you see this? Everybody's seen this. Television. They run the same commercial during the same show every week, over and over and over and over and over. I've even seen a commercial. I think it's the Little Giant ladder system. You ever seen the Little Giant ladder? It's a foldable, collapsible ladder. Looks neat as hell. I've almost bought 5 of them, in my life. I was like, oh, I'm going to buy this thing, but never quite. Did you know that commercial was made in the 80s? That same commercial was made in the 80s. Yeah, like 1980. I think it's like freaking old. And they keep running it. You know why? Because it works. Same message over and over and over. But in your case here, it's probably not a great example because that's a direct response one. But your introduction, you just want to repeat it. Here I am. I'm here. I'm here. Because it can take 10 to 30 times of that repetition for people to actually see it. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing how repetitive you have to be for the person who knows it. Look at it this way. The stat I heard most recently was the average American is exposed to 3,000 marketing messages per day. Whoa. Yes. And you think they're going to remember you after 1, 2, 5 times? I think even 10 is sort of optimistic. Plow that sucker in 15, 30, 100 times. Now they've seen it. Now they know they've seen it. Oh, that commercial's on again. Oh, I've seen it. Good. You know what? The commercial's getting its job done. If someone's complaining about a commercial that's been on too much, that commercial's working because it's what being complained about is infinitely better than being ignored, right? Being obscure. Okay. The result of this is you become familiar. Once they've seen your message, you introduce yourself over and over and over and over. They go, oh yeah, I've seen that guy. That's familiar to me. Key word, familiar. You've now become part of their thought process, their world. They're seeing you broken through the wall of all the stuff they ignore, and you made it into it where now they're not ignoring you anymore. They've got a connection to you, no matter how thin or how small. You've gotten to step one, man. You've gotten there. Okay. So you've gotten familiarity. Very valuable thing to have. It doesn't get you all the way there, but it's a very valuable step. Okay. Familiarity breeds trust. People, right, do business with people who they trust, and they trust what is familiar. So you stay there, you stay more and more familiar to them. Eventually, they trust you. Now, is that really true? Well, let's take a look at it, right? So you have your introduction message, and you repeat that introduction message, and you become familiar. And as you get more and more familiar, you become trusted. Okay, let me make sure I get this right. I'm familiar and trusted. Say you went to say you have a next door neighbor, and you've seen him like 5 times in the 10 years you've lived there. You wave at him, he waves at you. You know what he looks like, he knows what you look like, right? Whatever. You've seen him. That's it. He lives across the street. You have no idea about him. You just waved at him or something. Right? Okay, good. All right. Then say you're out at a big event somewhere where you don't know anybody. You have no idea who any of these people are. And you look over and you see your neighbor. You go, oh, you're going to go over to that guy. If he tells you, oh, yeah, this is that going on, you're more likely to trust him because he's the only non-stranger there. You're most likely to trust him. Why? Only you don't know. He could be the serial killer for all you know, but he's familiar to you, so he's trusted. This is how marketing works. Nobody gets to choose the best dentist in town. In order to do that, you have to go to every dentist in town and test them all out and do a service with every dentist in town, and then make an evaluation of which one you like the best, and then choose your dentist. That is not how it works. That is not how it works in real life. People don't choose the best. They choose the best known, okay? Because the best known is most familiar, and the most trusted is the one they prefer. And that's how this works, right? That is, we all have to take shortcuts. There's no way you can be analytical about everything. Now, some people get very analytical. They're going to buy cars. They do all this research. Great, but there's okay. Don't be fooled. There is 5 or 10% of the population who is this hyper analytical type, who will do deep down research, right? And this and this and this and this. But 90%, and the 90% are also the easier ones to close and sell to. Those guys, hey, I've heard of you. You must be good, right? And this is where I come up with this little meme here. I've never heard of you, so I don't trust you. True. And I've seen you around, so you must be good. Okay? This is how politicians get elected. You don't know what he's going to be like when he's in office. You just heard his name a lot. Okay. And then he gets in, then you find out, right? So this is one of the key pivots on which the world spends, and it's so easy. I hope you get the basic understanding here, right? All right, I'm not trying to belabor this. I just want you to really get this, because if you get this, you will never struggle to have enough new business coming in. This is the underpinning to anything you're going to do to get more people in. Okay, you get them introduced to you. They got to see that over and over to the point you become familiar. When you're familiar, they trust. Now, there are ways to shortcut this. This is not the only way to get people in. Another way to do it is to be the low price leader. You get them to say, oh, I'm going to do the usual thing, but I'm going to do it for half price. Ooh, some people come in. I don't really trust you, but I want the deal. They'll actually buy from you without trust because they want the deal, but there's also no loyalty there. Okay. So this explains why this whole phenomenon, why, known brands beat no-name brands. If someone says, oh, what was that? Oh, it's some no-name brand. That's derisive, right? Like, it means that's a crappy brand. Why not be a crappy brand? Just one you don't know, right? That's why, this guy here, this is just, it's much, for anybody who's younger doesn't get who this is. This is the supermodel, male supermodel who sells butter. Okay. That's why celebrities can sell stuff. Why? Because celebrities are familiar, and because they're familiar, they're trusted. We all know. Every now and then you see your favorite celebrity say something just unbelievably stupid. You're like, oh my God, right? I had no idea he was that dumb. He seems so much smarter in the movies. Well, the trust only goes away when they blow the deal. If they're familiar, they're trusted. Okay. This is why chain stores usually outsell independents, not because the chain store is better. Often they are crappier and more expensive. How do they get away with that? Because they do national advertising and they get all kinds of people to know who they are. They work on that big logo and the big marketing program. They spend the big bucks, and that's how they do it. It's also why McDonald's is the top restaurant for Americans in Paris. All right, I'm guilty of this. I went to Paris, city full of great restaurants, And this one day we just done a lot of traveling around, walking around, all this other stuff. And I'm like, I'm tired, man. I don't want to eat some snails. I just need some regular food. Oh my God, there's a freaking McDonald's. You know what? I'm going to McDonald's. And I found out through some research here that actually McDonald's is the top restaurant for Americans in Paris. It wasn't just me. So why? Because it's familiar. Is it the best food? No. Do I trust I'm going to get a good meal? Yep. Because when you've been out eating weird food in weird countries for a while, sometimes you just want the familiar, the usual, something you can trust. So have I made the idea? Have you gotten the idea across that familiarity breeds trust? I hope so, because I'm really trying hard here. Okay. So you want to build trust with your ideal prospects by staying in front of them with a repeatedly friendly message campaign. So this is not some magic. You don't have to have some magical way you present yourself. This is like, this is definitely not a great example to use, but I'm going to use it anyway. I think it's called Stockholm Syndrome. Was that where you're just presented with your captors over and over and over, and eventually you join their side? Right? Well, the idea here is if you're just there and there and there in front of people with what you do and what you offer and all that stuff, they will come up that line. It's a mechanical thing. It's not like, well, if your hair was parted better, they would, no, it might work better or worse depending on how you introduce yourself. But just the fact that you're introducing yourself would do it. That would be enough. If it was the simpler, the better, actually. Most people vastly overthink this stuff. Well, I got to be doing this, and I did this in the background. I'm going to take a picture, and I want to use these keywords. And shut up. Just do the introduction. It's better badly done than not done, but most of the time it's actually better off than you think it was. Just introducing yourself with a friendly message, okay? So how do you actually do this without spending a fortune? All right, I know you've been hanging on this like, John, yeah, great. How do I get everybody in town to know my name? So am I going to buy like radio and TV and stuff? Yeah, you could. But there's better ways. There's way better ways. Here, this is the ways to reach people, okay? If you're a business owner and you want to attract people to your business, this is how much it costs, depending on how you do it. So printed newsletters and self-mailers, that's the most expensive. That's per 1,000 people. It's $912 per 1,000 people. And that's with the old price of postage, probably. Postcards, just a little cheaper than that. And it goes on down there. So look, if you're going to put your message, by the way, any one of these will work for this strategy. Any one of these will work for that strategy. If you send somebody a letter every month in the mail over and over and over and over and over, you'll become familiar and eventually trusted, and you're much more likely to get them. But the thing is, the problem with those when it's too expensive to reach them, is you have to be able to wait the 6 months, keep doing it for the 6 months it takes for them to notice. And that can be expensive. It's called financing your advertising, right? It's much more fun when it turns around a lot faster. All right, so on this list, look at the list. Okay, we got print magazines. Okay, I've done those. Newspapers, broadcast TV. I thought broadcast was more expensive. Not bad. Of course, there's cable TV, billboards, radio, and down to the bottom, cheapest way to reach people, social media. And the coolest thing about social media is you can decide who sees those. When you have a billboard or a radio, TV broadcast or whatever, you're just getting a whole bunch of people who aren't who you're after. So you're really paying. It costs more than it even says here, because you're paying to reach people who really can't use you. So it kind of dilutes that out. Social media, you can target pretty tightly. Education level, age, location, all that stuff, right? Okay, so used right, paid social media is the cheapest way to reach masses of people over and over. This is why social media is taken over. This is why, the internet came along and just destroyed advertising. It used to be known. Now, there's magazines and print is going out of business practically, right? And social media is the most successful part of that. You're not worrying about anything else but how social media works. That has actually become the most successful. Why? Because it works the best. The money goes to what's working the best. And that's why everybody's talking about it. And paid social media is what I'm talking about here, not the free post and hope garbage. Oh, I posted a thing about our cat around the office and nobody came in. Oh, yeah, good luck with that. You know why? Because those companies don't make money off you posting free stuff. So it's limited. It's capped already. They want to encourage you to do the paid stuff. That's why you post a free thing. It's a little boost post. Pay us money, says Mark Zuckerberg, right? Of course, because he's in business of selling advertising. That's their business. So they don't give away for free. It's very hard to go viral without putting some money behind it. It can be done, but it's rarer and rarer, and that's by design. Why give it away when you can make them pay for it, right? So, but yeah, I was going to say this part here. I already said this part, but the best of all, you can choose who sees it. Yeah. And the targeting ability is what makes social media just so luscious. All right. So I have something called the social publicity strategy. This is what I deliver in my company. This is what I teach my friends when they come and ask me for how to get their business busier. This is what I would do for my son if he was opening up his own new business somewhere on Main Street, right? This is the pattern. Okay. So you use low cost social media introduction ads to stay in front of thousands of local people with who you are, what you do, and how to find you when they need you. Let me show you some examples in a minute. Repeat it until you become their trusted first choice. Boom. There you go. That's the whole thing, right? So here's the 3 steps on how you do that. So first, you got to get your basics in. You make sure your social accounts at least make you look alive and like you moved into the place. Well, you go to a lot of places, they still don't have like the information filled out on their hours or their phone number and stuff is missing, and no one's posted there in 6 years. Don't do that because people will look you up, and if they look you up on social media, they're going to see that you haven't done anything. It's going to look like you abandoned the place or that you went out of business or something. That's a bad thing. So easy to get that out. So just fill out all the information, the images they want. Put up a welcome post that's sort of the same thing. Like, hey, here's who we are, what we do, and how to reach us, right? And make a few friendly, simple posts per week that just to show you're active. These are not the posts that are supposed to get you all the business, by the way. These are just showing that you're alive. It's a heartbeat set of posts. Happy Wednesday. That's great. If they go in there and the last post was October of 2022, that's a problem. That's all. That's all you're doing there. If that does something for you, great. But these little posts you do for free. They don't carry the payload, right? And yeah, Facebook and Instagram, just do those. Don't worry about everybody else. The TikTok and YouTube and all those, they have lots of audience, true, but 85% of your people in the US are on there. And once you get this in place, then go out to the wider world if you like. You won't have to. No one's had to do it so far. All right. So here's an example of paid introduction ad. I hope you can see this. I probably put it on the screen. So it's friendly, non-salesy. Oh yeah. The next line is pretty cool. All right. So look what it says. All right. So it's like, just took this off of somebody we had. So it's a chiropractic office. And they look like nice people, and the office is nice. It's out front. You can actually, a picture of the outside office is nice because people drive up, they recognize it, right? That's kind of cool. And then what do you do? And here's how to reach us, and there you go. Super easy, right? It'd be choose your type of business. This is not a heavy sales. There's no big jump in your face. Come get the offer now. None of that baloney. Just hi, here we are. We do this, right? Friendly and non-salesy. Okay. Now, spending $10 a day, you can make that ad reach between 15 and 45,000 people every month. Yeah, $10 a day. If you target it right, if you run it correctly, which is not that hard to do, you can reach tens of thousands of people can be introduced to your business every week, every month, right? And after that point, you've got it done. So not super expensive. I mean, use marketing programs for lead generation programs. Well, they're like $5,000 a month starting, right? Yeah, this is what? $10 a day is $300. Okay. Super inexpensive. But can you get that? If you are reaching 15,000, imagine just 15,000 people a month we're getting to introduce to you month after month after month. Eventually you become familiar, and then you get trusted, and then you get chosen. Bam. That's simple. Okay. And you're going to target only your ideal local prospects. So if you, obviously targeting these people, like don't just send to any old schmoes in the area. Figure out who buys from you. Who should be okay? Good. Target them. Spend your money on those guys, right? Don't go over broad. You don't want to do that. You just want to keep it very narrow and right on who you're trying to reach. Okay. All right. So then step 3 is keep doing step 2. Just keep putting that ad out there, man. Bang, 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 bang. Put it on auto repeat and don't even think about it. Just shut up and keep it going, right? If you've done everything right, you got in front of the right people. If it's not a completely incompetent ad, you will start to become familiar and trusted. And what's cool is, remember, you got to get to them before they need you. Remember that 76% of people will choose someone they've heard of before they needed you. So you've got to be there ahead of time. Then when they do need you, when they go, I have that problem, suddenly there's your ad. And they're going to click because you're one click away. You got them. You got them. They're going to, they're headed in your direction now. They've picked you, right? Or at least they're on the way to picking you, which is really cool. And that's a magic trick for a $10 ad, okay? And they're going to contact you already warmed up. I've been seeing you everywhere online. Yeah, you're already familiar. I'm familiar with you already. That's what they're going to say. Somebody walks in the door as a potential customer of yours and starts saying, oh, I've been seeing you around. Now, if you're a salesperson, don't you love hearing that? Doesn't that sound like almost a guaranteed sale? Like, wow, this guy's going to buy. He's already familiar with you and he's chosen you. It's interesting. It makes him right to keep choosing you. He's familiar with you. Oh, I know those guys. So he's picked you, right? It takes quite a bit to push him off to another direction now. He's already moving in that direction. Keep him moving, sign him up, and get him going on your services. Okay. So here's the kind of results you can expect. There's a lot of stuff, but I want to give you some numbers and things here. Here's an actual stat of a client from recently. Yeah, there you go, from last month. So the number of people seeing him, being introduced to him, was 0 back in February. And then doing this, 46, almost 47,000 people saw him. The next month, 55,000 people saw him. 47,000 saw him again, and 57 saw him the next month. Now, that's just the vagaries of what the ad expenses cost. So, but by the way, those are not different 50,000 people. It's the same 50,000 people month after month. You don't want it to be the different 50,000 people. You want the same ones because there's 50,000 people that fits his profile of the people he wants as customers in his area. Why spend a dime marketing to anybody else? You want to go with the people who are most likely to buy from you when you're spending hard-earned cash. If you got money to burn, have at it. Make the number 100,000, but don't do it now. And if you're on a webinar like this, it's almost certainly that you need a little help now. So don't waste your money. Let's keep it used real well. And hitting those people over and over and over with that social media exposure is what works. And then you can see from him, okay, the same person, same business. They had almost no website traffic. Actually, I think almost literally 0 website traffic, right? Nice website, 0 traffic. And 200, 226, 244, ooh, almost doubled, 390, right? So what you see happening there is that's the people in the first month who saw him, a couple of hundred went to see him. That's all right. In the second month, a few more. The next month, a few more. And finally, it starts to catch fire. More and more and more. And of course, right after this is where the person someone walks in your door and says, I've been seeing you around. I've been wanting to give you a call for a while. Boom. New customer. Easy peasy. $10. All right. So here's a few just anecdotal things that we found. This is people reporting back to us on the program on this whole strategy. So we've gained lots of exposure and attention. I'm even getting recognized at the gym. I think I mentioned this when I was muted earlier. Anyway, chiropractor who's been running the program, the strategy for a while, and he gets recognized at the gym from his advertisements, right? Which is kind of like being famous. I've seen you, that kind of stuff. It's cool. He says, yeah, it's brought a lot of awareness to what we do and how we can help. Yeah, look, if people just knew who you were and how you could help them, that's the ball game. All right, this one. I'm happy to report that we are having a record year in new patients, patient visits, testimonials, and customer satisfaction. This has all added up to more fun in the office, more peace of mind. I love that line, more fun. Shouldn't business be fun? Isn't it more really fun when you're busy and profitable and people coming in and they're demanding your services and stuff? Oh, that's the greatest, right? Yeah, that's when it's fun. Oh, it might be busy. You're stressed out a little because you got to deliver stuff, but it's kind of fun. It's way more fun than sitting around, like, oh my God, who's coming in this week? And then finally, social media has netted a lot of lifelong customers. Yeah. When you start the relationship warm, all you have to do is keep it warm and warm it up even more with good service, and you've got it made. And when you have a local business, you don't have the choice of moving to the next town if you get a bad reputation or if people have tried you and had failures. So if you can make lifelong customers, that turns into a roots into the community of future people and word of mouth and all this stuff. So it's just awesome. But this, okay? This is basic business stuff. Okay, so now about you. So what you've learned so far is best known beats best. Write that down. Best known beats best. You understand that and embrace that and can get over any upset you have about that being true, because it is absolutely true. If you use that as your benchmark for all marketing and advertising you ever do, you will not fail. How's that? 2, repeated friendly exposure creates familiarity and then trust, right? Trust. You want to be trusted by people who don't know you? This is how you do it. This is exactly how you do it. You put the name everywhere. You put the introduction everywhere. This is how you do it, right? And social publicity keeps you in front of the right people so you're their first choice when they need you. It's the least expensive and fastest way to do it. You can start half an hour from now. You could have this running for you, right? You could have those being introduced to people, 10, 20, 30, 50,000 people a month could see your name over and over and over, right? This is so easy to do, so simple. Actually, I'll say simple, easy. Like, there's still skills involved. You still have to know how to run a Facebook group, a Facebook ad, and target them properly and put it together. I mean, there's still some skills, but these are not like impossible skills compared to knowing what to do. This is the strategy that does that, okay? And this is what I'm imploring you. Please quit struggling. get on, help more people with this kind of a strategy. Okay, so I did tell you early on that stick with me. The reason I do this for free is because I know some of you will want to have this done by my company as a service. Totally cool. I'd love that to be the case. I know it's not going to be everybody. It's not going to be most people. That's totally fine. We don't need most people. This is how I get being known, like, and trusted, is by giving you some good stuff and becoming more familiar to you. Hopefully I've accomplished that with this webinar. So let me just run through real fast, just a couple of things. What you get if you're a of ours, you get that full program that I just outlined. You get to choose the types of people and the services you want to see. So it's not just everybody. You say, I want to do more of this kind of person coming in or that kind of person coming in. Maybe it's a guy I want European auto. People own European cars. Okay. I want people here for decompression treatments for my chiropractic office. Great. Whatever you want. Right. You get to choose. What's cool is you get to choose because we know how to target that stuff. Right. We do it. You just answer the phone when new people call in. You don't even have to log into Facebook. We do the whole thing for you, right? Because we know you're busy. And if you're paying us, then you shouldn't even have to touch Facebook. We take care of all that for you. You don't have to make content. You got to do anything, right? And your program can be live and working within 2 to 3 days. Just depends on who we've got stacked up ahead of you. That's it. But it's actually relatively straightforward for us. We do this all the time. So not like, in a month or a week. Yeah, great. And the total cost of our program is $14.50 per month, and that includes that ad spend, right? There's no contract. You stay because it's working. That's all we ask. If it's working, you stay. Hey, of course you would stay. And that's actually 96% of our current clients do continue after their first month. So, like I say, I guess 96%, it bothers me. Those 4%, why, right? Why? What could I have done better? Still, although I think it comes with the heading of you can't please everybody, and I guess it was 100%, that'd be kind of suspicious too. So whatever, 96% was the last time I measured it. Most people carry on with the program because it works. And you don't have to do spreadsheet math to make sure it works. It just does work. What most people say is it seems busier, right? They'll say, oh yeah, we just seem busy. What's the schedule book? Oh, and somebody mentioned Facebook on the first time ever about us, right? So my question for you is if you had tens of thousands of local prospects seeing your friendly introduction over and over, right? If you had that, and you have those right people being targeted, those are the right people are seeing it, and you have people calling in who already trust you and ready to go, would you be making more money? Good. Yes. I'm going to feed you the answer. The answer is yes. If you had this running, if you were more popular, more people knew who you were, what you could do for them, and how to reach you when they need you. Yeah, you definitely more money. And this does not take 6 months or a year to work. This you start seeing results usually within 10 days, maybe a month. I mean, people stay for the second month. It's not because they saw nothing. Now it gets better. By the way, some expectation. You should know this takes about 90 days to fully mature. People need to see these things 3-4 times before they really start to, remember 30 times for some of these people? It's hard to push out 30 times in the first month. So I say the program matures after about 90 days, maybe 120 days. That's when it kind of gets to a point, and then it starts building up inertia from there, right? But it's cool. It's again, you're also not having to buy a grand piano every month. This is not that expensive. I mean, depends on what your finances are, I guess, and what you consider to be expensive. But I'm comparing it to the usual marketing programs that are $2,500, $5,000, $10,000. I know I used to sell that stuff, right? And it worked. But man, this has worked so much better and such a higher. We did not have 96% of people before who were successful in that first month. We did not have that before. I did that. All right, so this is the last slide. Here it is. No, if you want more details on our program, just text me your name. There's my number. Text me at that number. And we have slots for 6 clients right now. And if you're watching the replay later, use the same numbers above, but you may have to wait for an opening in our delivery queue. And you know what? I just realized a mistake I've made on the slide. I have, oops, I'm going to stop sharing for a second because I don't know if that number still works. We just changed our phone systems at the office. So here. Here, I am going to change this right now. 873. I'll give you my number right now. Change the slide so you get my real number. 770. There we go. Now let me push on slideshow mode and I will share this. Yeah. You know how business is. Sometimes you make changes. There you go. Oops. All right. There you go. 770-873-2097. You can text me on that line right now. That's literally this phone. And I'm certainly having my assistant show you the whole program because we have a little way of showing you all the details and answering all your questions and stuff. But I want you to know that thing works, program works, and I recommend you start it or do the program yourself. Do what I just showed you. Do it all yourself. Okay. I put out a lot of content that I help you do this stuff yourself. But I am here for a service for you and to make it easy and to get you going. Most people, I think, would prefer just do what you're best at, and let the marketing program be run by somebody else. If you want that, I'm here for you. And with that, thank you so much for being here today and putting up. I know we had a little audio trouble early on. Thanks for sticking around, those who did. Appreciate it. And that's it. Take care.